Let me show you how I got these sparkling holiday lids. So we're gonna take powder foundation, more full coverage powder foundation, and I'm going to clean up underneath the brow. I'm not carving, I'm just making sure that we have any kind of freckle, any kind of vein hidden. It's actually really easy to blank this out at first with powder foundation. This is one of my favorite liquid shadows of all time. It's from About Face and the shade is Capulets. I'm gonna use this as a base today. And these are really nice and pigmented, so it's gonna cover up my veins and just give us a more full coverage look without having to just break out everything and do more work. We're working smarter, not harder today. Now I wanna use my Viseart palette today. This quality is unmatched, but I will say for $10, this has all of these beautiful mattes and it's fantastic. Y'all have seen me use this one quite a bit recently, so if your budget doesn't fit this one, you will enjoy this one. Taking this shade on the tip of the brush, I'm gonna tilt my head back and I'm just gonna push it into the socket just a little bit. I think that's all the depth I want today. We're taking this shade on the tip of the brush and we're just gonna press that across this top part, melt all that together, and now we're on to the shimmer. So this is the star of the show. I'm gonna pick it up on a brush. It's a KVD Dazzle Stick. I like to apply this type of shimmer with the brush so I have more control. Look at how pretty this is. I love these. I wanna do a little bit of a liner, and like I always say, let's leave some space for that. No matter what kind of liner you use, even the best liner in the whole wide makeup world has trouble going over shimmers. Now, if you ever have your shimmer creep up a little bit too high, it's just a little bit too high. I mean, it's fine, but if you want to kind of change that direction, just take a clean, dry spoolie and you can kind of just dust it away. See? Nice. Now, I know that we know to transition our crease, but don't forget to transition your lid color as well. Makes a world of difference. Let's do green liner. This one's from 𝓼𝓵𝓪𝔂. It's in the shade Intense Jade. And it's just going to look a little bit softer and more subtle than black. Ooh, that's fun. Don't forget to place your lash in the center first. It makes such a difference. This is a friendly reminder to shake up your foundation. Basically shake up anything. If it's a liquid, I even shook this up. Remember that first eyeshadow, that liquid eyeshadow? I shook it up. Shake up your liquids. So this is the Cover FX foundation and my perfect shade is M3. Look at that. Such a good match. We're gonna start on the jawline and then we're gonna work it inwards from there. Now, we all need different amounts of coverage on different parts of the face, but a good rule of thumb is to apply the most of your foundation on the perimeter. That's why I always start on the jaw, and then we're gonna bring it towards the center. If we need more in the center, we'll just build up there. But the smaller amounts towards the center, the better your foundation is going to wear and look. Don't forget to take a little foundation on a fluffy brush. You want a fluffy brush so you don't have as much coverage, because we don't wanna just cover up everything. We want it to peek through. So I'm taking my foundation and I'm just going in here. Oh, it just looks so melted and good. And now we're just gonna take the smallest amount across there. Put too much and we're gonna have a muddy mess. The right amount, we're gonna have the perfectly blended eyeshadow look. Fluffy brush, less coverage. Dense brush, more coverage. Now I'm going to do my Haus Labs concealer. This is 06 Fair Rosy. It is very, very peachy pink, and that kind of works as a corrector and concealer in one for my skin tone. So let's just work that in. And you'll notice that I don't have that concealer on the rest of my face, and the reason why is because I like to place it underneath my eyes first, get my coverage, and then I'm going to start to take it towards the center to do a little bit of a highlighting effect. On the chin, center of the nose, and I'm going to take a little bit more. And this also helps to make sure that I didn't apply too much underneath my eye, because sometimes an applicator, any applicator, they just apply so much product, and I could have done a brush, but I'm in a little bit of a hurry, so we'll just do it this way. So before I get any powder on my face, I want to do my blush first. Whenever I want to kind of make my blush stand out the most. I'm gonna do it before bronzer. I'm gonna do it before powder, especially a liquid. Woo, please do this before you do any kind of powder, especially because right now it's so much easier to fix any mistakes if we put on the liquid before we put any powder. Say that this goes absolutely patchy, this won't, but if you were to use a liquid blush and it was going patchy, now's the time, because we can fix our concealer, we can fix everything. Look. Then I'm gonna take my concealer brush, melt that in. It's little things like this that make such a difference. And then I'm gonna take my foundation brush one more time. Boom, melted, flawless. Applying my One Size Ultra Pink powder. And now you can see that the blush was very intense. And it's still obviously there. But anytime you put the powder on top, it's going to diffuse it. It's going to take it down. And then I need you always to remember that blush sometimes, not always, but sometimes wants to fade. It's the first thing that wants to abandon the makeup party on your face. So don't be afraid to go a little heavy, because blending it in with the concealer and then that powder going back on top of it as well, it's really going to diffuse it. We're going to take that liquid shadow again, and I'm going to go ahead and finish my eye. I'm just going to stamp and press. I want a little bit more control over my bronzer today, so I'm going to use this brush and just press. I'm actually going to get more coverage by pressing instead of swiping back and forth. You'll get more out of the pigment of the bronzer. And I'm just going to warm up my nose just a little bit. Now, I haven't tried the NYX ones, but I have tried these from About Face. These are fantastic. If the NYX ones are better than these, I'm gonna be really surprised. And this is the shade Pink Pina. Then I'm gonna use this Sephora Collection Rouge Gel Lip Liner. And if you wear a lot of kind of glossy lips, anything like what I have on, you're gonna love this formula because it just pairs perfectly with anything glossy. It also pairs with your mattes and your satins, but it's just perfect with this type of formula. And one of my favorite tips is actually to take powder foundation. And this might be one of the reasons you stay away from a really glossy lip, but if you take your powder foundation and just kind of go around and clean up with it, you're creating a barrier so it's not going to creep around and migrate. Finish up the look with just a little bit of that same shade that's on our lid, on our inner corner. If you made it to the end, thank you so much for watching. And I feel like this is a really good holiday look, so save this for later.